Welcome. Today we're going to be taking a look at how we can demonstrate the process of branching and merging in GitHub so we can see how we can actually work with it using Java and Eclipse and the GitHub tools on a Mac. These instructions will be slightly different if you're working with GitHub on a PC or if you're using Git, obviously, itself, or any other tool. But this is, again, the basic process of how to do branching and merging so we can see what's happening. So right now I'm inside my GUI demo project I do with my morning class. As you can see, I'm in my controller class right now. I want to make a branch off so I can add functionality to my GUI. So instead of using the icky FlowLayout, I have the much more controllable and nifty SpringLayout in that. And so I'm going to go over to my panel class right here. As you can see, I'm just using the default layout of everything on there. I'm not doing anything special with that. And so when I run my program, I hit play. And because I'm using the flow layout, it just puts things over here right there. If I click on this, it just instantly adjusts the layout automatically by just going left to right. Not really pretty. I want to make this so it uses the Spring layout, and I'm going to do that as a branch so I can test out the functionality and features before I merge it back into the main trunk and have my better status with that. And so to do so, I'm going to do a branch with that. So I'm going to go over to GitHub first. And in my GitHub app desktop tool, you can see I'm in my GUI right here. And I have my current branch. I'm on my main. And I want to go ahead and push my origin because I haven't done that yet. Always a great thing to do. And on my current branch, I can either go right down here and I can click a new branch on this section under the branch section, or if I go to the application up here at the top, I go to branch and I can do new branch. Either one of these are totally fine. I'm going to go ahead and use the new branch off of the branch top menu just because I like that better. And I'm going to do this and I'm going to call this the layout. And you can't use spaces in this, so you can either use dashes, underscores, or camel case to identify what you're working with. I'm using a dash for this time. And so I've got my layout branch. I'm going to do create branch right here. And so this is going to take a branch off of the main trunk so I can try this new feature and make sure it works. Notice right here that it changed my commit button to be working automatically with the layout branch that I'm working with. Great way to have a visual cue to make sure we're keeping track of that. So now that I've got that, I'm going to go ahead and go back to my code. And inside my code, I'm going to go to my panel and I'm going to add the component for it. So I need to add a Spring layout. So the first thing I have to do is go up here to my import section, and in my Java X imports, I'm going to add an import for javax.swing.SpringLayout. So import javax.swing.SpringLayout, semicolon. Also do a little nice little Java doc right here, swing imports. Okay, save. So I've got that first little commit right there. So you can see that I've got that in my branch. So I've got that change right here. I added the import for Spring layout and that lovely document comment right there. And so added an import would be a great comment. Added import for the Spring layout. And I hit commit to layout branch. And I need to publish that branch as well because it's not on the internet yet. It's just right here on my local machine. So I'm going to publish that branch up to the server as well so I have access to it. So now I've got my import in there. The next step I'm going to do is go ahead and grab a data member and initialize in the constructor. So I'm going to just go right here and I have a private Spring layout. And I name it the creative name of layout because I'm really boring. And then under here, I'm going to go to my constructor. And in my constructor, I'll initialize my layout. So I'm going to go to this.layout equals new, and it's a Spring layout. It doesn't have any parameters for the constructor, which is great. So I just initialize it, and that's wonderful. And I'm going to go down here, and now that I've got my layout initialized, I want to tell my panel to use it. And I do that inside my setup panel method. So I'm going to go right here, and I'll do this.setLayout and parens. And inside here, I'm going to pass the layout variable that I just initialized. You want to make sure you initialize it first. You don't want to pass it null. That's not going to do us any good. So I've got that done. And now what's going to happen if I go ahead and run my code, I hit play again one more time, because I'm using that Spring layout and I haven't done all my work, it just collapses everything up here into the top left corner. Ack! That's not what I definitely want to put this in my main branch. I want to make sure I fix this first. So I'm going to go ahead and give a quick commit to make sure I update what I just did. As I'm going to go here and I added my layout, or added layout to panel, saw it looks wrong. Okay, so I've got my commit to my branch. So that's a great reminder to me that I really don't want to commit this to the main branch. I want to fix this out first. So now that I've got that right here in my layout, I want to go ahead and fix my layout for that. So I'm going to use the lovely tool of the Spring layout using Window Builder. And so I've already installed Window Builder, so I don't have to do anything special with that. I'm just going to right click on my morning panel and go over here to open with and go to Window Builder, which allows me to get access to the actual GUI component to drag things around. I can also do this manually, which I'll see in another lecture as well. But I just go over here to my design tab. And in my design tab, it automatically says, here's all the stuff right here. And you can see in my lovely structure, my hierarchy right here, I have all my different components. And so what I can do is I can click on each one, it'll highlight it appropriately. And so I can see the results. And I want to make it so they're kind of centered vertically. So I'm going to grab this one right here and my click me please button. I'll move that right here. And as you can see, I've got this, 170. Sure, that looks great. And I've got that right there. And it attaches a lovely spring right there and there to attach it. And I'll do the same thing with my demo label. I'm going to put my results right here, so it's going to come down below it. So I'm going to grab my label and results here, and it's kind of right below that. And I'm going to then do my duck button. I'll put my duck button up here above it. And right there looks great. And my duck status, we'll put that right in between those as well. And so now I've got this structure for my status. I'm going to go ahead and hit save. I'm going to go ahead and run my code to see how it looks when I actually run the application compared to the window builder. And I run my window builder right here. And oh, that doesn't quite look like it's in the middle. Oh, I wonder why that is. Oh, I know why, because I haven't done this before. I haven't set my flow layout, excuse me, I haven't told my layout to actually match what I'm actually working with. So it's not quite correct. So I want to go ahead and fix that. So I'm going to go do a quick commit, and I'm going to give a message saying, hey, I need to work on this. So I need updated layout. Not quite right. Off center. Again, give a message to yourself so you know why you did things inside your commit messages. We always want to make sure we're working with that. And so what I need to do, and I already know this, is I need to make sure that my preferred size is reflected inside Window Builder. So I'm going to go ahead and go to that. So I'm going to go to my Source tab, go back inside there. And in my import section, I'm going to go up to my imports. And in my AWT section, I'm going to go right here. I'm going to do import java.awt.dimension. A great little tool. I can set the size I want for something. And then inside my setup panel method, right here, when I first set up my panel, I'm going to also tell my panel I want you to be a certain size as a preferred size. So this dot set preferred size, and I pass it a new dimension. I'm going to pass it 800 by 600 because that's the default size I use for everything in class. And so if I go look at my frame class really quick, you'll see my frame. Oh, my frame is 800 by 600 right here too. So I already know that's what I'm going to be working with. So I'm going to go to my preferred panel right here. I have that preferred size set for that. Now I click on the design window, and oh, it actually matches what I just saw. So oh, I can fix this. So I'm going to click on my click for ducks thing. I'm going to bring it back over here. So it's going to be much more towards the middle. That looks great. And then duck status here, move that underneath it. And then go to my click me please button, move that over here too. And my results here label, move that over here. Yep, Command Z, did something wrong. Click on that, move it over here. There we go. That looks a lot nicer. So I'm going to save that version and hit play again one more time. See how it looks. And make a cool window. And look how much nicer that looks. I click on my button. It's still functionality. Oh, click me please. Oh, that's not too good. It's a little bit too far off, so I need to make sure that this is a bit over. Click me please. I can't read that. Well, let's go ahead and we'll grab that right here. So I'm going to give this duck status. And so that's not quite what I want it to be. And so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to drag this lovely thing right here. So look at my constraints. And my constraints right here, this is not a dynamic thing, so it has to be loaded manually. So I'm going to set my west constraint right here on the west edge. Instead of 330 from the edge, I'm going to say this is going to be 20 from that edge. And my east edge, I'm going to have that be negative 20 from that side. So it's going to be in the middle of that automatically from east and west edge. So it's got that whole thing right here, so I can have that. And then on my duck label, my other label, I'll do that same thing. I'm just going to match that so I can match there. So my duck label on that, and my demo label. So demo label right here. And so it's set to be east of that. So east of the east label of duck. My west will be also 0 of here, and its anchor is going to be the duck label. So it matches like that. So now they're lined up directly with it. So it's wonderful. I'll even do the same thing with these. I'll have these be like, oh, these are going to both be 50 away from the edge. They'll be giant buttons. So instead of negative 308 right here, I'm going to have that be 50 from that edge. And I'll have it be negative 50, the opposite direction from the east edge. Whomp, there we go. And we'll have this one be 0 aligned with that. So I'll have my offset 0 on that. And the anchor is going to be the duck button, so it matches that. And then its east edge will also be on the duck button, but on the opposite side. Boom, now I've got the great thing. So I've got that saved. I'm going to commit that. I'm going to play, make sure it looks nice. Save my thing. Okay, yeah, I definitely want to save my work. That's always a good idea. And I save that, and I run, and now I've got this huge thing, click for ducks. Oh, look at that. It works so much better. Now, a label, unfortunately, is a single line thing, so it won't ever wrap the text. We'll have to fix that with another update to our code. But we can see that we've got this lovely working thing. And I click here, please, and my current random number. Oh, I can actually see what's inside that because it's not off to the side of what I'm looking at, so it actually matches what I'm doing. So I've got that nice solved version. So I'm going to go back over here. I'm going to take a look at my code back in Eclipse. And in the design tab, it threw a whole bunch of ugly code right here for these layout.constraint stuff. I don't want to have that in my constructor, so I'm going to move that over here inside my setup layout method like I always do with my GUI code. Move that down here to setup layout and dump it in there because it's my dumping ground for all the layout management code. And so now I've got all that code. I hit save. I do one more commit. So I go to GitHub right here and I fixed layout and moved layout code to the setup layout method. And I save that, of course, and commit that branch. Now my branch is good, and I like my branch, and I want to merge that back into the original thing. So now I've got that saved. I want to merge to the regular branch. So I'm going to go to my current branch. I'm going to switch that to main, which was 12 minutes ago, obviously, because I just did that. I'm going to merge my branch into this. So I'm going to click on the down triangle right here, and I'm going to merge a branch to merge into main. So I click this little cute little button with a little merging icon, and I click on that. I'm going to choose the layout branch. I'm going to merge it into main. So this is going to take 4 commits from layout branch and merge it into main. So I create that merge commit, and look what happens when I do that. I have all those commits that I just put in. Those all go part of it. That's now part of my main trunk. And I hit push origin, push it all back up to the server. So I have these 2 branches that were off. Now it's merged into one single solid branch, and I have a much better application because of this. And so now I've got this cute branch that has all those merges that go in that. They're originally on that lovely branch that went off, and it's good to go. And so if you have any questions, take a look at my other video about why we want to use branching and merging. But I hope this is helpful so you can do the demonstration of how to branch, how to merge using Java, Eclipse, and a Mac OS. Have a great day. Cheers, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.